tells me this story. It's the bestest thing, and you can help me because I don't remember how it goes. She was a singer and a choir singer, and at one point she was going to a mental institution. And she's like, I'm going to sing for them. And she came up with songs. It was like, oh my gosh, would this be a problem?
She didn't come up with the song.
They were given to her. I remember the first two lines, I love myself, I think I'm grand, but I can't remember how it goes.
I love myself, I think I'm grand. I go to the shows to hold my arms around my waist when I get fresh.
I slapped my face, I'm a nut. And she was singing this song to these people, and she sang it to them, and they loved it. I love myself.
The other one was from Paint Your Wagon. You guys know that?
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood sang it.
Yeah. I was born under a rumbling star.
No, that wasn't Clint Eastwood.
No.
That's right. That was Lee Marvin.
I talk to the trees,
but
they don't listen to me. I just thought it was so funny hearing it. I love myself. I think I'm grand. I go to just to hold my hand. I think I'm great. I love myself, and if I get fresh, I slap my face. I'm a nut. And this is what she was singing, and I'm like, that's just so hysterical. And they loved it, and they loved it. They thought it was great. And that was just, you just said that. That just popped in my head. So it was just a goofy little thing. So I apologize.
That's back when those hospitals still existed.
Oh.
They got rid of them, and now we have homes.
80s, yeah.
I'm going to read 3 weird ones for you because we've got a couple other holidays here. I have 2 for St. Patrick's Day. The first one is a depressing one. I'm just telling you in advance so that you know. This one is called Flooded War Memories. It was St. Patrick's Day. Went to another country to see you. Met up with you at a hotel. It was like we had never been apart. We talked like old friends, old wartime veterans who fought in a war together, who shared our life stories while sitting in the trench together waiting for the bombs to strike. It was St. Patrick's Day and everything seemed normal and right. And even though you lived far away and even though we had different life plans, it was St. Patrick's Day. I remember you laying down in a bathtub like a little boy, splashing and playing in the water, not even flinching that I was there talking to you while you were naked in a tub. It was St. Patrick's Day. I wanted to get out, see the town, and you didn't want to move, content in this dingy hotel room. And all I could think was that it was St. Patrick's Day, and I was in another country. I wanted to get up and go, and I didn't know what snapped in you on St. Patrick's Day. But I was in a dress, ready to go, and you knocked me down. I remember being knocked to one of those dingy hotel beds in my pantyhose and dress, and you strangled me. And it was like we were in the war again, and you were fighting to the death. But I thought we were on the same side. Why are you trying to hurt me? And like a bulldog that finally listened to the commands of their master, you finally stopped, and there I was, your ally, the one that sat with you in the trenches with you all those years ago. Torn pantyhose, bloody knees. I never thought you'd fight one of your buddies, I swear. I got out and called for backup in the hotel lobby. At the payphone, an older woman came up to me, asked if I was all right. Her questions stopped me from hyperventilating. I looked down at my torn hose, bloody knees, and I said, I'm fine. I just knew I had to get out of there before more shells fell. And what a little bit more about St. Patrick's Day, I guess. This one is called, and this was written on St. Patrick's Day, it is called Once They Were Moved to This Foreign Land. For those not knowing the ways of the Catholic Church, know that people become saints based on their lifetime deeds, not necessarily their visions they may have had while fasting and only allowed to drink alcohol. So if anybody was curious, St. Patrick, according to legend, was from England, but Irish pirates took him hostage for 6 years. However, after having problems upon his return to England, he went back to Ireland. as a priest there, he actually converted all of the polytheistic pagan Irish over to Christianity, which kind of pleased the Catholic Church. Now, in Catholicism, it seems that every day is saved for a saint, and March 17th was originally reserved for a day to celebrate St. Patrick because of the day which he believed that he died. Now, I talked to men who were altar boys, and they say to me they never remember hearing about the Catholic Church ever making any mention of St. Patrick, much less honor him. So this altar boy's theory is that when the Irish were ridiculed upon arrival in the United States, they thought that maybe they would latch onto this holiday as a way to honor the Irish and as a chance to bring the Irish together. Now, since some may possibly say the Irish have a penchant for drinking, this holiday really caught on as a way to celebrate way too much here in the U.S. But for me right now, living 1,000 miles away from my own home, I was out drinking yesterday, call it pre-celebration for St. Patrick's Day, and I saw someone wearing clothes naming my hometown. I had to approach and give personal props if they were from the same town as me. And afterward, we laughed and commiserated and talked about our town for over an hour. And it was great to connect with someone from my past, with someone with my roots, even if just for a little while on one day. And as small as it seems, as insignificant as this may seem, a part of me wonders if this is how the Irish felt once they were moved to this foreign land. So whatever the reason and whatever this history was, this one day seems to be a day when everyone can claim to be Irish, and it's okay. Because even if you're not, unlike the discrimination the Irish first felt when in the States, this is now the one day that everyone welcomes each other, no matter our nationality. I'm not Irish, I already said it for Irish. And this is going to be we will have 10 minutes, so if people want to do just one piece after I do this one, especially when I'm going to give a weird one for the short one. This one is for March 18th. This is the day that Adolf Hitler signed the Nero Decree. Do you guys know what that is? That's the day when he said, no, that we're just going to, I'm not doing well, we're just going to let these cities burn. You think, yeah. That's the Nero Decree, and whereas, how he said, let's just leave nothing. If they're going to take me down, let's just ruin the towns behind us. Yes, this was toward the end of the war, that was what he did. Anyway, so, by the way, this is really hard to do, this poem, but here we go. This colored zeal was unbridled. Slaving, I risked my life, and in these struggles I had a vision the entire fatherland would ultimately embrace. This was your salvation. You begged for it. Your zeal was unbridled. But as time wore on, you and the masses were too blind to truly fulfill your destiny. You don't understand. I earned the Iron Cross for my unbridled heroism. I fought in the streets for the right kind of government for my people. And I changed my life so I could be your servant. And now you all betray me so. I have always fought, and that has always been my decree since the beginning, to never surrender. And as I continue to fight, and as I see around me now, I see all these cowards. You should want to die instead of turning your tail to run. Deserters. You deserve your destiny, not me. This is the only proof to me that it was never your destiny after all, and each one of you should perish. And if enemies come to take over my land, we should leave them nothing, only a scorched earth. And since my people stopped fighting, let them die too. I want to make this clear. It was not my vision that was faulty. It was your inability to not fulfill your goals and ultimately make this empire reign 1,000 years. Your unbridled love for these ideals should have sustained you. So, you have no one to blame but yourself.